Hi guys, Tim here doing another military history video for you today, and this time we'll be on the very famous First World War naval battle, the Battle of Jutland. And now the Battle of Jutland started on the 31st of May 1916 and ended on the 1st of June 1916. And now a lot of people say it was the only naval battle during the First World War. And now it wasn't really the only one, because if you rephrase that and say it differently to say the only major, long, hard fought out battle, naval battle, they'll be right, because you had battles like in December 8th, 1914, you had the Battle of Falklands. Then you had, in January 1915, you had the Battle of Dogger Bank, or Dogger Bank as it's really called. So it isn't really the only one. I mean, there are a lot of others, but still, it is the only major one, and it's the most famous, of course, most well known, the Battle of Jutland. Everybody should know it. Everybody knows it. So, as I said, May 31st, 1916. The German Grand High Fleet fired first upon the British Grand High Fleet, And now, for the British, you had John Jellicoe and Admiral Beatty, or David Beatty. Now, Beatty was the commander of the whole fleet, basically, the British Grand High Fleet, the best in the world. Because during the First World War, it was the British naval who kind of protected our shores. Then in the Second World War, it was the RAF. But yeah. And now for the Germans, you had Reinhard Scheer, or Scheer. He was the Germany's Grand High Fleet commander. Then you had Franz von Hipper, who was a very famous German naval commander, very famous. Who fought actually at the Battle of Dogger Bank, or Dodger Bank, in January 1915. So yeah. So on the 31st of May 1916, at say 3:48 a.m. in the morning, Hipper commanded his flagship, the German flagship, the Lutzotz, to fire 3 times on the British flagship, which I can't remember its name right now, which is annoying. Hopefully it will come back to me. Hopefully. Firing his guns on the British flagship, and it hit it 3 times until it sank. And now it was kind of like it wasn't a big Napoleonic Battle of Trafalgar type one where you had the enemy, the Spanish French fleet in the line, then you got Nelson's column, 2 columns coming up, smashing right through it. It was literally the old broadside tactics of line there of British and German ships, firing over thousands of miles away, in open water like that. This was actually in the Netherlands. So it was in the Netherlands. So yeah, kind of the North Sea, Netherlands, that area. And out of all of that, right until it ended on the 1st of June 1916, you had British ships, you had British battle cruisers. 3 sank, to the Germans 1 sank. Then casualties for the British, you had, say 6,490, and then to the Germans you had a good 2,000 plus men. So yeah, it was known as the most famous, and not the bloodiest, just the most famous. Well, you could say the bloodiest naval battle, because it was the biggest one. So yeah, and the items I've got on here, actually on display, are the only really things I could actually pick out of my collection. Now what we've got here is my great grandfather's, because remember that First World War British naval seaman's cap, which I am looking actually at right now, which was my great grandfather, because he served possibly at the Battle of Jutland in 1916. Because every time I look on war records, it always comes up with 1916 as the recorded date, so possibly. So what I have here is his private purchased actual compass, which he brought with him through the Navy, which I'm not going to get it out actually right now, but that's it there. Actually no, I will actually take it out. That's it. So yeah, it's called a prismic compass, which is very annoying to get out. So yeah, that's my great grandfather's First World War private purchase compass, prismic compass. He brought with him during the First World War when he was in the Royal Navy, which I've actually, as I showed in the previous video, his actual seaman's First World War naval cap, which I've got up here. And this one is really cool. This is a lovely First World War Imperial German naval button, that is, which I picked up today. There. Probably hard to see, but you got from top, you got the kind of Prussian or German, really, German crown, imperial crown. You got the naval symbol of the anchor, basically. Yes, that's lovely. So you kind of got examples of the British fleet and the German fleet. So yeah. So, actually I'll put better than that. So, yeah, that has been a little quick military history video on the Battle of Jutland, May 31st, 1916 to June 1st, 1916. So, see you guys. Bye.